Hello and welcome to this lesson on graphs of sine, cosine, and tangent. By the time you finish this video, you will be able to identify and sketch the graphs of y equals sine x, y equals cos x, and y equals tan x using their key features. Recognize important characteristics of trigonometric graphs such as maximum and minimum values, intercepts, asymptotes, and periods. Apply trigonometric graphs to real-life situations, such as modeling wave motion or repeating patterns. Let's get started. Now, let's take a look at these three important trigonometric graphs together. Here, we have the sine graph, the cosine graph, and the tangent graph. These three graphs all come from trigonometric functions, and they are all based on angles. As the angle increases from 0 to 360 degrees, each graph shows how the value of the function changes. Now notice that all three graphs are drawn on the same type of axes. The horizontal axis represents the angle, and the vertical axis represents the value of the function. Even though they are all related, you can already see that each graph has its own unique shape. Some graphs are smooth and flowing, while others change more sharply. Some repeat in a regular pattern, and some have breaks in between. At this stage, the most important thing is to recognize that these are three different types of graphs, each representing a different trigonometric function. So think of this as an overview. We are simply getting familiar with what each graph looks like before we explore them in detail. In the next part, we will take each graph one at a time and understand how it behaves step by step. Now let's focus on the sine graph. The equation of this graph is y equals sine of x. Take a moment to look at how the graph begins. It starts at the point 0, 0. So when x is 0, the value of y is also 0. Now as x increases, the graph rises smoothly. It reaches a maximum value of 1. This happens at 90 degrees, so this is the highest point on the graph. After that, the graph begins to fall. It passes back through 0 at 180 degrees. Then it continues downward until it reaches a minimum value of -1. This occurs at 270 degrees. After reaching this lowest point, the graph rises again and returns to 0 at 360 degrees. Now notice something very important. From 0 to 360 degrees, the graph completes one full cycle. This is called the period. For the sine graph, the period is 360 degrees. This means the pattern repeats every 360 degrees. Now take a step back and look at the overall shape. The graph forms a smooth wave-shaped curve. It rises, falls, and repeats in a regular pattern. So the key features to remember are it starts at 0, 0. It has a maximum value of 1. It has a minimum value of -1. It repeats every 360 degrees. And it forms a smooth wave shape. These features help you recognize the sine graph quickly. Now, let's move on to the cosine graph. The equation of this graph is y equals cosine of x. Now look carefully at how this graph begins. Unlike the sine graph, this graph does not start at 0. Instead, it starts at the point 0, 1. So when x is 0, the value of y is already at its maximum. Now as x increases, the graph begins to fall smoothly. It moves downwards until it crosses the x-axis at 90 degrees. Then it continues downward until it reaches its minimum value of -1. This happens at 180 degrees. After that, the graph starts to rise again. It crosses the x-axis once more at 270 degrees and then returns to its maximum value of 1 at 360 degrees. Now take a moment to notice something important. The maximum value is still 1. The minimum value is still -1. And the pattern repeats every 360 degrees. So the period is still 360 degrees. Now look at the overall shape. It is very similar to the sine graph. It has the same smooth wave shape, but it is shifted along the horizontal axis. So instead of starting at 0, it starts at its highest point. So the key features to remember are, it starts at 0, 1, it has a maximum value of 1, it has a minimum value of -1. It repeats every 360 degrees, and it has the same shape as the sine graph, but shifted. Recognizing this shift is very important when comparing sine and cosine graphs. Now let's look at the tangent graph. The equation of this graph is y equals tangent of x. Now immediately, you will notice that this graph looks very different from the sine and cosine graphs. Instead of one smooth, continuous wave, the tangent graph is made up of separate sections. These sections repeat, but they are not connected to each other. Now let's begin with an important point. The graph passes through the origin, which is 0, 0. So when x is 0, the value of y is also 0. Now as x increases from 0, the graph rises. It increases slowly at first, and then more and more steeply. Eventually, the graph shoots upwards very sharply, but it never actually touches a certain vertical line. This is because there is something called a vertical asymptote. An asymptote is a line that the graph approaches but never reaches. For the tangent graph, there are vertical asymptotes at 90 degrees, 270 degrees, and so on. These are the points where the graph is not defined. Now, after each asymptote, the graph starts again from negative values and then increases upward again. This pattern repeats again and again. Now, another important feature is the period. For the tangent graph, the pattern repeats every 180 degrees. This is different from sine and cosine, which repeat every 360 degrees. So the key features to remember are, it passes through 0, 0. It has vertical asymptotes. It increases from very large negative values to very large positive values. And it repeats every 180 degrees. So when you see a graph with repeating separate curves and vertical asymptotes, you can recognize it as a tangent graph. Now, let's dive into some exam-style practice question. You can pause the video and try yourself. Question 1. The height of a small boat on ocean waves follows the function h equals 2 sine x, where h is the height of the boat in meters and x is the angle in degrees. Using the sine graph, determine the maximum height the boat reaches. Now, take your time and understand what this question is asking. We are given a function h equals 2 sine x. This tells us that the height of the boat depends on the sine of the angle, and then it is multiplied by 2. Now, the key idea here is to think about the sine graph. We know that the sine graph has a maximum value of 1. This is the highest value that sine x can ever reach. So no matter what the angle is, sine x will never be greater than 1. So now we use that information in the function. If sine x is at its maximum value of 1, then we substitute that into the equation. So we get h equals 2 multiplied by 1. This gives h equals 2. So the maximum height the boat can reach is 2 meters. This earns 1 mark. Now take a moment to understand what happened. The sine graph controls the shape, and the number in front, which is 2, controls how tall the wave becomes. So always remember this idea. The maximum value of sine x is 1, and multiplying it by a number will scale the height. So the final answer is the maximum height of the boat is 2 meters. Question 2. The height of a Ferris wheel seat follows the function h equals 3 cosine x, where h is the height in meters and x is the angle in degrees. Using the cosine graph, determine the maximum height reached. Now take your time and think carefully about what this question is asking. We are given the function h equals 3 cosine x. This means the height of the Ferris wheel seat depends on the cosine of the angle, and then it is multiplied by 3. Now, the key idea here is to remember the cosine graph. We know that the cosine graph has a maximum value of 1. This is the highest value that cosine x can ever reach. So no matter what the angle is, cosine x will never be greater than 1. Now we use that information in the function. If cosine x is at its maximum value of 1, we substitute that into the equation. So we get h equals 3 multiplied by 1. This gives h equals 3. So the maximum height reached is 3 meters. This earns 1 mark. Now take a moment to understand what is happening. The cosine graph controls the shape of the motion, and the number in front, which is 3, controls how high the seat can go. So always remember this idea. The maximum value of cosine x is 1, and multiplying it by a number scales the height. So the final answer is the maximum height of the Ferris wheel seat is 3 meters.